Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Blue Archive set of reactions. Today we have some songs from commenter Fletcher, who wants me to get to Morose Dreamer and Aira as themes 35 and 37, I believe. And it's just more from Mitsukiyo, the same composer that made all the stuff in the last video that I adored, and now I'm going to get to hear more, which I'm always happy about. I love Mitsukiyo's work in general, so there's always room for more. And without further ado, let's go! Even starting off with a beautiful piano yet again. See, in this one, I'm actually hearing like the hammers of the piano hitting the strings. I'm hearing the keys go down and that connection being made, which I love. I love those details. It feels so much more real. Ooh. Love the impact of that bass note. Really shifted gears there. Ooh. Great chords there. The collection of notes being used. There's a really neat harmony to it. This might be a pentatonic. Ooh. A little jazzy? Some blue notes, maybe? Yeah, I think it is a pentatonic. But with a little bit of fun thrown in. Some surprises. It's gorgeous, though. I was wondering if it was just gonna fade out from there. It would have been a long tail. Ending on a note that kind of leaves you wanting more. It doesn't quite resolve at the end. For those who aren't in the musical know and didn't understand a lot of the terms I was using during that, pentatonic basically just means a 5-note tonic general scale, basically 5 notes within the chord that you can use, and it's usually more of a thing that's used in Asia. Usually stuff in the West is more octatonic, using 8 notes per scale, and it's just a slightly different sound. It forces you to rearrange the music in a different way, and it creates a different sound profile overall, and it's just more generally common to hear those sorts of progressions in Asia. For whatever historical reason, that's kind of the sound they adapted and decided to gravitate towards, which is perfectly fine. Pentatonics and octatonics are used worldwide all interchangeably for most things, but just, you know, stereotypically and classically, there are different favors that certain parts of the world have to different octaves and their collections of notes therein. So that's what a pentatonic really is in a nutshell, and I'm only fairly certain that's the case. I'm not positive. I'm not like a music theorist truly, for those who haven't heard me talk about that before. I don't fully know. I'm not the biggest music theory nerd out there, but I do know some stuff, and it's mostly by ear. So when I heard certain collections of keys and chords in here, I was like, this feels much more like what I would expect out of a pentatonic compared to an octatonic. There's a little bit more close relationship between the notes, and there's not quite as much movement as you can get and stretch out of an octatonic. So that's really all I was getting out of that one. But then Mitsukiyo threw in those notes that I was like, what are those? I thought they were like blues, jazzy, kind of adjacent chords, but I don't think this is using doing a jazz scale in any way, because I don't think the rest of the song was in a jazz scale, and it wasn't utilizing those sorts of things. So I think that was just a choice in the moment of writing the song, of wanting to get that energy in there and kind of tilt things a little bit, make things a little bit more audibly interesting, maybe make you ask a question at that specific point, maybe adding something like an unfortunate moment in the song, something went wrong at that moment, you have a note that's out of place, it's going to make you feel that way. So I think that's a really cool approach, is just taking random blue notes and random jazz adjacent chords and kind of throwing them in at random spots when you need to get an emotional moment across and get that pin set in the song. That was a really well done little bit there, and it couldn't have been at a more perfect time as I was thinking about it and about to make a comment on the general construction of the song, only for it to change in that moment. That's perfect timing. Absolutely A-tier writing there. People, I think, underestimate the importance of writing and writing in those timed moments into a song, even one that doesn't necessarily have writing in it. There's no lyricism in this song. So you're like, well, what does it matter? Why do you need to write certain moments? There's still a dance, a very fine line to walk when you're doing anything melodic in general. So when Mitsukiyo is making a song like this, they're kind of making it feel like somebody's singing it without singing it. So you want it to time as somebody would be going through those normal phases in a song. And of course, there's average progressions in a song, these sections of A, B, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, whatever pattern you want to use. It's basically chorus, verse, verse, chorus, whatever pattern of those. But then you have to change it up a little bit. There has to be a bridge, there has to be a connector, there has to be some sort of a hook in order to keep you interested in the song, and for the song to be able to tell its story effectively, you have to clearly make that available to the listener, even if you don't have any lyrics happening at all. So this song being written like this, it changed that right at the moment of the song. I would be anticipating there to be an emotional high or low, some pivotal moment in the narrative of the track that makes me go, oh, there's something different here. Right as I was about to question that and wonder if it was going anywhere, it went somewhere, and that's brilliant. Just that perfect timing, really nailing it perfectly in the center on that bullseye of when to time that for me. Everyone does feel music in a slightly different way. Nobody's going to be the same, so maybe some people listening to this didn't feel that at all, and other people felt it at a different time than I did. But right as I was asking that question, I was given one, and I thought that was a really good example of just that in general, writing the melody of a song so perfectly that you're able to pull that out of somebody, that question of, is there more to this story, or is this just going to be an average game song that loops and doesn't really have much going on, which I've never known Mitsukiyo to do, but you never know, right? So having that in there, perfect timing, great writing by Mitsukiyo, and now I'm even more excited to get to Aira, so without further ado and yapping about this song, let's get to that one, shall we? I figured it was going to be another beautiful piano arrangement. Ooh. Yeah, this one's got more going on. More dissonance, more crunch. It's definitely a slightly different story. Oh, it's more fleshed out. Is that a clarinet? Hell yeah, dude. Ooh, the texture of that clarinet. It really shined through at that moment. Now this is so calming. Oh. There's something about this one that feels like a walk. Just on a walk with my loved one. Down a vaguely European street. Right at sunset. The Seine sprawling in front of me. Smells terrible. Jokes aside, this is gorgeous. It really does get me in that mindset of being on a walk and just being at peace. Oh? Another one where it ends on a lift. Mitsukiyo, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? You can't be leaving me wanting more like that. I'm gonna start getting antsy. This one I have a lot less to say about, purely because the core of what I was gonna say is pretty much what I said during the reaction. This one's beautiful. It's got a great pace to it. It flows so smoothly and peacefully. I just can't get over that vibe. This song is the vibe of walking down a street, even alone, but especially with a friend or loved one, and you're just kind of both walking into the sunset and just enjoying each other's company. There is a piece to this one like no other, and I adore the feeling of this one being so at peace. The ending being interesting is purely because it ends on that lift again, but through the song it felt very grounded the whole time, so I never had an inkling that there was going to be a lift on this one, which, like I said, kind of leaves you wanting more. It ends on this high note, it ends on this emotional upbeat, and it doesn't resolve down, so you're constantly like, wait, what's happening after this? Like, where is that going? Does it loop back? Is there more to the story that I just haven't seen yet? It kind of pulls you in that direction and makes you want more, because especially in the West, we are conditioned to hearing that final resolving chord, that final note that just settles you down emotionally. It plants your feet firmly back on the floor no matter what the energy was, and this song not doing that really plays with your emotions and plays with how you're perceiving the song a little bit, because that whole time you felt so at peace, like nothing was wrong. You might feel like you're on cloud nine a little bit. You might be energized in your heart and feeling a little bit floaty by listening to this one. That peace is definitely there, obviously. But the fact that it doesn't let you come back down to earth leaves you with one of two options, and it is, does more happen after this, or is something going to happen that's negative? You don't know. You don't get the answer of if this is a done story or if there's more beyond this that could go horribly wrong, which is always an option in any video game, so it's very possible that's what's going on here. Or it is truly just the peace song. It's designed to be there to make you feel like you did a good job and everything in the world is correct and fine and you are not going to have any problems. That's what I'm getting out of it. But because of that lift at the end, I don't know. And that's also just as interesting as finishing a story in a song, not letting the listener in on the secrets that are beyond that ending is a very cheeky thing to do, but also very much appreciated narratively. But I think I've yapped about these long enough, so thank you all so very much for being here and watching this. And if you have any other songs you want me to get to from Blue Archive or anything else, leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to get to them as always. And if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!